We sell tax and financial services to high-income entrepreneurs. We do about $9 million in revenue.
That's awesome.
We would like to be at $25 million by end of this year. What's stopping us? So I know the constraint is people. We need more advisors to service our clients. We need a faster onboarding process to do more 5-day virtual events. Got that. I don't think it takes the whole company to fix that constraint. I think it's HR, CSMs, operations. Is it okay to have the rest of the company focus on a different constraint, or would that like kill team morale? Or how do you balance constraints across the departments?
That's a really good question. I've gone back and forth on this, so maybe there isn't a right answer. But I would say that in the season that I'm currently in, I believe that there is one constraint, and if we solve that constraint, the business will grow. And so I want everybody to know that this is what we're working on. And what ends up happening is that you see the other fires that are burning, and then that actually creates more urgency to fix the first one. When you try and fix them in parallel, it ends up taking longer to do both than to do one and then the other, because the whole team knows. It's like, but there's this other fire burning, and you're like, right, then fix the fucking first one. And so then it just orients the whole team, right? And then also that means that like if something has to happen, the whole team is greasing the tracks to make sure that this objective gets pushed forward. Even because there's so many supporting and ancillary things to get some big thing done that if they're like, well, we have our priority, it's like I think that's what gets in the way.
That's what we see. It's like, well, sales has this priority, but operations like this is not a priority for us right now. Yeah.
So we call it the silent sixth, which is basically like every business has their priorities for the year or whatever. The silent sixth one is that we have to keep selling, we have to keep doing business, right? So those things always have to continue. But like, what is the one thing that matters most? Like, I think it's Jack Schlutman. He has a good book on this. But I'll give you the TLDR of the book is that he was a big believer, or is a big believer, at not having 3 objectives or 5 objectives, but just one. He said, basically, if you can't get clear that one thing is more important than everything, then that's your fault as an entrepreneur. And so I see like if we're the chief allocators of resources, then it means we have to be able to prioritize. And if we can't do it, how can we expect our teams to? Which means we have to be able to say, this is more important than that. And yes, they are both important, but this one is more important. And I think that kind of betting perspective has served me really well. Being very violent with like, this is the most important. And I've just noticed that things get done way faster because then it's like, hey, when we do this, then we can do this next thing. And then everybody wants to do the next thing too. And then when we do the next thing, we part the seas to get that done.
I like that. Thank you.
Yeah. It also, in service of what I was talking about earlier, when you have that perspective, it also minimizes all the other changes that you're making across the company too. Because you're like, that's not a priority. Could we improve this thing? Probably. Do we need to right now? No. It's not the constraint.
If you're a business owner and you're not growing as fast as you'd like, I'd like to give you a free gift. So my team and I put together the $100 million scaling roadmap, which is basically 200 hours of us looking over all the portfolio companies we've had and what stages of growth they went through, and more importantly, where they got stuck and how they got past it. And so we broke it into these 10 stages, and we made this little kind of quiz thing where if you put in your business information, it'll tell you where you're at, and the most important part for you, what to do for each of the functions of the business across product, marketing, sales, customer success, recruiting, IT, human resources, and finance. And so no matter what you're struggling with, someone else has already struggled with it and solved it. And so I'd like to give you this thing absolutely free. You can go to acquisition.com/roadmap, plug in your business information. And if you want us to actually help you deconstrain the business and you're trying to scale, we'd love to help you out. On the thank you page, you can just book a call with my team and we will look at the business, see if we can help. And if we can, we'll invite you out to Vegas and we'll do this in person live.